Hello everyone. So, today I bring you a project that has been in the works for the past 6 or so months. This started because I couldn't beat some family members in a game of chess, and also I wanted to make improvements on the version that many of you have seen on this channel, the Python video of me creating chess with 48,000 lines of Python without using Pygame, strictly with Turtle. So, some of the additional features we've added on top of that in this now Unity version is one, a better looking UI. As you can see, we now have cleaner pieces and we have a better looking UI in general. We've added data management, so now we can store the records of individual players. We've added stronger king protection, so you can no longer just throw your king into a spot where he'll be taken the next turn and you'll immediately lose. The settings down here on the bottom right, the background music and the sound effects, these are tied to global settings that any player can affect on your computer. So if I did this and close the application and then reload it, when I reload it, it should be at full again. Turn that down because it's annoying for now. On top of that, we've added an AI. This AI isn't great. It's basically like a tier below me in chess, so it isn't going to be winning any awards or even probably beating the better members of my family at the game or anything, but for beginners of the game it may push them a little bit. And it's also cool to be able to play a game without a friend finally, because I ain't got any of those left around. So let's start with the actual profile management system that I've built around this game. So something that I've been working on when it comes to game development in general is storing player data, particularly their settings and features, their preferences, as well as any UI scores and player game states and whatnot. All of this is very important to games. You need to store stuff like the player's high score or records against other players in the AI, as well as like their name. So what we've done is I've added this through JSON, and as you can see here, I have a few profiles. Let me go ahead and remove this one. And so we have a default profile. When you guys download the zip, you will be forced to create a profile, because I'm going to delete all the profiles from the build before zipping it and putting it on the repository for you guys to download, which, by the way, the link will be in the website for you to download this project, along with any other projects I feel the need to give you links to. The link to the website will be found in my next YouTube video, which will soon to be added to the video. It'll be a website specifically for our channel here. So if we view the default profile, we can see we have a record here, the wins, draws, and losses against the AI. There are no players, so let's add a new player. You can do that by creating a new profile, and let's just recreate the cool GameHacker profile. So now GameHacker's here. Let's go back to viewing default profile to see what happened. So now we can see that he has a clear slate record against me, GameHacker, and GameHacker the same against him and against the AI, since he's now a newborn child. So let's play versus a player now that we have our friend. Air quotes. So you pick a player for the white slot, you pick a player for the black slot, and you can start the match. So right away we have the same settings here. These are different compared to the start screen. So the start screen and the gameplay scenes are different settings entirely. So this does not affect the start screen's sound effects and background music. So we also have a pause up here, allowing you to exit, resume, and exit the match. We also have a timer and a indication of whose turn it is, and you'll see who's in check and who's checkmate, etc. So it is GameHacker's turn, my turn. We are the white player in this case. So you can click and hold and drag the piece, and the locations you're able to viably drop your piece are indicated by green. And you can obviously just drop it, back to wherever you want. You can also just move everything else if you really want it on your team. This won't see if I'm clicking on the enemy team here, and nothing will happen. But if I click on mine, I could drop it here, and nothing will happen. It'll just go back to its spot. So let's make an actual move. Cool. Let's do a couple more of those, yeah? Playing by yourself is so boring. So I'm going to elaborately speed through as much of this as I can, because I really can't be bothered playing through this. There we go. Okay, so White has now checkmated the king. So GameHacker just beat default profile, so you can now either restart the match or exit the match. Let's exit and go to the profile manager. And now you can see that GameHacker has a record of a 1 win, 0 draw, 0 loss against default profile. And default profile has the opposite against GHacker. Sweet. Let's play against AI because I'm sure many of you know I don't have any friends IRL. So I have to play against an AI because it's my friend instead. So you can choose to either be white or black player in this case. So let's choose to be the white side of the game. And you could choose your profile and start the match. So here it's my turn, so I'm gonna do my default move. Now it's the AI's turn. You'll see that the game here freezes until the AI makes its move. Now it's my turn again, so I have control, and now it freezes again. This AI, so we can go ahead and discuss the AI now in a bit greater depth. The AI is based on the Minimax formula. This is a formula that has been used to create a decent gaming formula. It's a formula used for turn-based games that does a pretty good job of figuring out what the best move state is, given that it's got enough information. So, for instance, look at the board state. It's now looking at every board state that it could make. It looks at every turn the AI can make, every turn I can make in response, and basically do that maybe about 10 more times, so it can look, several moves in the future, figure out what move is the best, given that I would be perfectly logical. It assumes that the person it is playing against is 100% infallible and makes the correct choice every turn, which obviously is not true, but Minimax will adjust for that. And so this is the evaluation, the way it evaluates each board state on the possible board state is based on what's called the evaluation function. And so the way we change how this AI sees each board state is by altering this evaluation function to suit our needs. So in my case, the way I went about doing this was, instead of setting it to some values because I felt like they were correct, because I don't have that kind of intuition here, I decided, I think I clicked the wrong button, I think. No, it's fine. You'll see that occasionally because the game has to freeze to think. Don't worry about it, it's fine. The game will still run. I just completely lost my train of thought, but basically, the way that we program the evaluation function, instead of deciding the numbers at random, which, I could have just tweaked the numbers until it decided to work. But the thought process is we created a genetic algorithm, which is a type of reinforcement learning, machine learning algorithm, which basically mimics evolution as we know it. And so we basically create a bunch of babies, have them play chess against each other, and the ones that win get to live, get to grow up, get a job. I need to censor that. That's a slur. Job is a slur. I'm sorry, gamers. That's a slur. They get a job. They maybe find a wife and make kids, and then those kids get to go on and do this. The kids who don't do so well, they'll never touch chess ever again because they're traumatized. I don't know. Just like me when I lose to my AI because I'm doing absolutely horrible while explaining this. I didn't give myself any decent moves, it would seem. So, the idea was to have a population, which is the number of chess AI babies, so to speak, if we're going with our metaphor here. We have 20 babies in a group. This group is called a generation, and so for each pass of the program, for each generation, we have every AI battle every other AI in that population to get what's called the fitness score. This fitness score determines how good each baby is at playing chess. If the baby sucks, it'll have a lower fitness score, and if the baby is good, well, it'll have a higher fitness score. What do you want from me? It's simple. I'm trying to make it sound interesting here. And so now what we're looking into is running this program, having the AI fight each other, having them have their little AI brawl to the death match running in the background on my computer. So I ran this AI versus AI slugfest for the approximation of 2 or 3 weeks. And what we end up with is an AI with a fitness score of 26.7, I believe. And keep in mind that with the way that this was set up, the maximum theoretical fitness score that could be achieved was about a 38. So this AI could have gotten better, but I can't really tie up my computer like that. And I'd rather just call it quits at a decent AI that might push you or set you off, you might get pushed to your limits every now and then, but you certainly aren't going to say, oh my goodness, it's going to be insert top AI for chess purposes, It's certainly not of that caliber, I would say. And so I'm going to continue this match, and I'll probably end up getting jump scared by almost losing or something. Quite interested in see. So a normal player probably would have taken that pawn with the bishop one because it's better to sacrifice the bishop because then you'd be baiting my queen and I wouldn't take it. But like in this case, he took the rook. So like the moves that the AI will make aren't infallible as it is. It isn't a perfect AI by any means, and so it tends to make quite a few mistakes. Some of these mistakes are obviously worse than others. I like to think little Timmy here is doing his best. I mean, it's kind of like when you hand a literal toddler a chessboard and tell it what to do. It's not going to know how to play the game properly completely at first. So you resort to extreme methods to make it do its job properly. So, while we're waiting for this horribly slow match to end, we can quickly discuss how this bastard I guess the evolution, so to speak, of how the program came to be. So, initially, before I started programming the official AI with the Minimax and all, what we started with, this guy is the worst. We had a random move generator that would, it does what it says on the tin, lads. It generates a random move for the AI to play. So the AI is like, wow, move the pawn to, X location. It literally saw the list of potential moves the AI could make, and it would effectively there what happens, I believe, is that I lose because it's a draw. So if I go in here now, oh no, it counts as a win because no matter what there, I'm gonna end up winning. It's fine. So I guess I can go ahead and delete all the profiles. And so now, as you can see here, you don't have any profiles available. So if you guys are downloading this, just keep in mind you should come in here and manage your profiles appropriately. I appreciate you guys all for watching this video. Please keep an eye out for future videos, both regarding chess, and make sure that whenever the JavaScript or the YouTube channel website comes out, that you guys give it some love. I've been working pretty hard on that project, and it will be really neat, as a lot of the projects that I've done in the past will be downloadable from there. Some of these projects will include Monopoly, and many of the Unity projects and all the Python projects will be present. Now, you won't be able to download some of them, like the C# projects, like the C++, Rust, PHP projects, but the cool ones from Python, the cool ones from Unity, I've left download links to all of them. So once again, I've been GameHacker569, and I will see you guys later. Peace.